Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 24th of April for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to share with you some standout features of this week, but please stay with me because I then will explore in much greater detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new here, it's great to have your company. I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you would like to get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, I think I'm pretty unique amongst the YouTube astrologers for offering this service, and I've written them for 28 years. Please see the link below. So this week begins with the Sun aligning with the North Node. The North Node is going to make way on the 13th of July into the sign of Aries, very much to do with initiation. But Taurus, for near to 2 years now, is very much about our values. And because the North Node is our collective understanding or appreciation of values, self-worth, but also money, it's no surprise that when the North Node aligned with Uranus last year, and of course we had that total lunar eclipse on the 8th of November, which was squared up, or T-squared, from Saturn to the position of the Sun and Mercury as it was, but also the Moon and Uranus, we really had a fantastical amount of adjustment to go through during that period. And that's not been easy. There's been a big increase in costs of everyday foodstuffs, which is very much to do with Taurus energy, and also obviously to do with interest rates. So for a lot of people, the cost of renting, mortgages and food and other commodities such as fuel have skyrocketed, and it's been really challenging. But I think that alliance between the Sun and the North Node is really asking us how we can gain from really trying to understand this situation. And also because Mercury is retrograde, we can think of Mercury retrograde as purely something that's going to create snags and difficulties, or it's an opportunity to drill down into the detail, Mercury's rulership of Virgo, or to have a conversation or a rethink, Mercury's influence through Gemini, to try to find a way to squeeze a bit more out of our budget, particularly because there is a great link between Mercury and Mars in the first 3 days of this week, and Mars is in the part of our situations that's to do with our home, but also our family and domestic setup. So there could be an opportunity there. Also, Mars is in a fabulous alliance with Uranus all this week, also in Taurus. And of course the Sun in Taurus not only links with the North Node in Taurus on Monday, it comes into an exact sextile with Saturn on Tuesday. I feel what Saturn in Pisces is saying is, what is our accumulative experience that we've gained in life so far? Maybe there are some emotional insights and strengths and robust ability to deal with pressures that maybe we need to reacquaint ourselves with. This is especially so if you haven't had to worry about money on an everyday basis until the last 6 months or so, because I think this has affected so many of us. But if having little money has been something that you've experienced a lot in your life, I feel that what we can gain is certainly through our relationships, because the sign of Taurus is very much about our self-worth and our values. So even if the material world is limited, what we can gain is through conversation. So even though Mercury retrograde has got such a challenging reputation, I still feel that we can turn it to our advantage. However, on Thursday there is a quarter moon in the glamorous sign of Leo, and Leo can be to do with chance and speculation, and because obviously Taurus can be about everyday money, If there is something that you're tempted towards, you know, if someone explains to you there's some kind of get rich quick scheme, I would be very skeptical. But also, someone could look for our assistance, and it may be someone we've helped in the past, but we may feel that this has become too much of a pattern, and we want to push back so that they realise that and appreciate that help in the past and not just take it for granted. So that can very much be to do with loved ones who might need to be reminded that about the bank of mum and dad is not currently open, or it could be that we need to deny ourselves something that we could have a frivolous desire to have, consume, but actually will it have any benefit to us? Because Taurus is very much about tangible benefits. So if there is something that you're thinking of buying on a whim from Thursday over the following week, probably best to try to avoid that purchase unless it has some kind of tangible benefit. So this is a week when we are all going to be thinking about our self-worth, our values, and our everyday money, but it's all leading up to the lunar eclipse, which is going to be occurring in Scorpio across the 5th and 6th of May, which is actually going to provide opportunities to turn things round. It's not going to be a panacea. I still think the big reset we're going through is one that's really pushing us to become much more conscious of the use of resources. That's a collective thing, but obviously that's no joke if you're really struggling to eat or heat on an everyday basis. Please stay with me whilst I explore each of the 12 signs, but if you would like to ascend above zodiac astrology and really understand how more serious astrology can work to your advantage in your everyday life, if you do give me 3 pieces of your personal birth data, of time, date and place of birth, I can provide for you your life roadmap report, but also in my special package of 30% off your 12-month forecast, which can give you Syrian insights. Don't know your time? I've developed a new package based on the sun, my solar package. Same offer, 30% off, and you get your forecast too. And if you really enjoy watching YouTube videos based on your sun, these will really relate to that very well. The more serious approach to astrology is more based on your ascendant. So if you're really into that, go for the first package with the 3 pieces of information. So Cancer, your week commencing the 24th of April forecast sees Mars in your sign really a pivot, forging an amazing link with Uranus all this week. So you can have the thrust of Mars, especially in your sign. That gives you the confidence to be very single-minded, but linking to Uranus around your future hopes, your ideals, but also anyone you're connecting to who may share those. There's a lot of exciting energy. But you might think, but Patrick, with Mercury retrograde in my sector of friendship, could that be an area of disappointment? Potentially. You know, maybe you are going to rethink some things for your future plans. But with Venus tucked up in your 12th house and in a semi-sextile to Mars, I feel that that just is pushing you to really tune in to your 6th sense, one of your strongest suits. You know, if you are unsure about something, what's your gut feeling telling you? But Mars also forges an inspirational link to Mercury itself in the first 3 days of this week. Maybe you're going to be in contact with someone you've not heard from for some while. Maybe you are going to reconfigure some of your longer term plans. With the quarter moon, which occurs on Thursday, maybe there will be some people that you realise you don't align to in quite the way that you used to in the past. But that link between the Sun and the North Node on Monday and the Sun and Saturn on Tuesday, it does give opportunities to be very solid. So despite the headwinds that Mercury retrograde can undoubtedly create, you know, if you're really entrenched and immersed in what's really important to you and you're very clear-sighted, yes, there may be some niggly misunderstandings or delays, but I still feel that you are taking some giant steps forwards in the right direction. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do like, comment or subscribe.